Mr. Chairman, committee members, you did hear right. I am here to speak against House Bill 1099. My name is Shannon Cooper. I'm a registered lobbyist on behalf of the Carpenters District Council of Greater St. Louis and vicinity. Now, I see a lot of you chuckling as you stare at me thinking, why would somebody who served in the Republican House for 8 years be up here representing the Carpenters Union? If you'll bear with me, I'm going to tell you a little story, but I'm going to say one thing first, that oftentimes misunderstandings create wide problems between individuals. And I'll tell you that most of the people behind me today spent money against me every time I ran for election. And I'm still representing the Carpenters today, and I'm proud of it. And I promise not to use acronyms or boring statistics because I can't keep track of them. I can tell you our side can give you as many numbers as their side. But I want to tell you a story that might help you better understand this issue and maybe put a face with it. It's a story about a kid that grew up in mid-Missouri in the 1940s. 8 years old, he watched his dad die from a brain tumor. Times were tough. He had a sister, he had his mom. But guess what? Some of you will take great pride in this. His mother was a Republican, strong Republican, very conservative. She wouldn't take a penny from anybody. She worked at the local hospital, worked her tail off to make sure those kids had what they needed. He grew up, had a newspaper route, found out he was kind of mechanically inclined, got a job at a local office store, working on typewriters after school. He graduated from high school. No chance of going to college. They could barely pay their bills. He got on to the machine shop, making punch presses. Dirty, filthy work. It almost paid the bills for his wife and his 2 kids. And then one day, it was almost like that guy won the lottery, because a family friend came to him. He said, you know what? I think I can get you on a Peabody coal. Now, most of you guys might not know what Peabody coal is, but in that part of Missouri, there were large coal veins, and a company by the name of Peabody was over there mining that coal. He applied, he passed the test, he became a member of the United Mine Workers as a welder for Peabody Coal. And his life suddenly changed. He could now afford a 3-bedroom ranch-style home for his wife and now his 3 children. They could afford a new car every now and then. The other car they had, it didn't break down every weekend. That guy was living good. You know why he was? Because he was working for the United Mine Workers of America. He was proud of that. And he continued to work there. His kids could afford to play Little League, go to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Honor Society, camps during the summer. Life was good for that man. You know why? It's because the United Mine Workers of America, they paid a lot more than he ever made at that machine shop, I can tell you that. He had health care, he had retirement, he had a good life. Fast forward to today. Some of you are catching on already. One of that man's children is sitting in an insurance office in Belton right now, pulling her hair out, trying to comply with the Affordable Care Act and sell insurance to people that want to buy it. One of his children is just south of Representative Walker's district, putting in a new power line. He's a union lineman for PAR. Best job that kid ever had. In fact, his mother's not in here today. I'll tell you, that job probably kept him out of prison. And the third one, you know where the third one's at? Right here in front of it. As I served, there was always a misunderstanding because I was Republican. I was no good for the unions. But the unions gave me the opportunity to be here. It gave me the chance to get interested in politics. And I'm here today because of it. It's a story that you won't read in the history books. You won't Google it. I've never told it before. But it is true. And every union person out here representing, they've got stories just like that. And let's put all these statistics and arguing aside, and let's put a real face on what this issue is about. And Representative Frame's right. I seldom agreed with him when I was in office. This is about lowering people's wages to where they can't make a good living. You know what? The halls aren't lined today with the 22,000 union carpenters we have in Missouri. You know why? They're out there working where they should be. They're the best kind of constituents you could ever have. They want nothing other than to be left alone. They want to go to work, they want to support their families, they want to support their communities, and they want to have a good, decent job. And that's all they're asking for. And in these certain times, can you blame them for that? I don't think it's too much to ask for. There's a lot of issues facing the state that will do a lot better for the people than beating up on the unions. And you know what? I'm not naive. I spent a lot of time in that corner on the 3rd floor when I was in your seat. I know what's going to happen. Pigs would sooner fly than these bills getting stopped in this committee. But these people I'm talking about, they're just like myself. They're like my brother, my cousin, my nephew, and my father. And this is important too, because you're taking money out of their pocket, food out of their mouth, and that's not good. I've said enough, Mr. Chairman. Be happy to answer any questions.